my God.
So I thought about getting a little deep today.
I'm social distancing emotionally.
Don't mess with my people.
And it's also how you know your friend's not talking shit about you.
Shut up. For realsies.
You're like, you're being a bitch.
It is okay to step away from friendships that do not make you a better person.
Somebody once told me you can either be an anchor or a motor.
Bullshit.
One day we were like, God, we're fat. What happened? Oh,
there you go. It's only official when you do the clap.
I know.
Right?
I know.
All right, cheers. It's a gloomy, shitty Michigan day.
But we're almost out of here.
I know.
Can't wait.
All right. I have not texted you and asked you about this because I wanted fresh responses.
Okay.
How was Saturday night and your comedy show?
Good. Was it Saturday night?
Yes.
I guess it was.
Yeah.
It was good. We saw Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yes.
And that is exactly how close I was to him.
So is he like walking to the stage there?
Walking out. This is
he
on
was
his
like
exit.
On his exit. Okay.
So the stage was just like right here.
Yeah,
and
you
then
guys had really good seats.
Yeah,
eh?
and then he dropped, and then he walked down and walked out.
Yeah.
He was great. He's hilarious. So we came in, we watched some of the warm-up guys before, and then walked to our seats and sat down next to this couple. It was a cluster because somebody was in our seat.
Oh, I
and
hate that.
Anyway, we were just like, come on. Can everybody just go to, can't you fucking read?
Yeah.
Go to your own seat. So we finally got our seats. And this older couple was sitting next to us, and they were dying laughing, right? Like dying. And we're like, oh, these guys are cute. They're probably in their 60s or 70s and really cute and laughing hysterically. Sebastian told one joke about Elon and Doge, and they were like, they looked at each other so pissed. They got up and left.
Shut up.
I mean, you have second row seats, and you're going to leave?
Because
they were so offended.
Was he pro Elon or anti?
Yeah.
Oh.
But we were like, who cares? We've been to lots. We love comedians.
Yeah.
We've been to lots of shows where they're on both sides of the aisle.
Yes.
That's not why we're there. It's not a political rally, everyone. It is a comedy show, and these are fucking jokes.
Yeah.
And this couple was so offended. They were like, we can't stay here anymore. We got to go. Can you believe he said that?
Wild.
And I was like, you were just cracking up 5 seconds ago. And the best part was they got up and left. Well, this is after they went to the bathroom 3 times.
Okay.
And we were like in the end, and we had to go,
yeah,
every time. So I was already annoyed about that. And then when they left, which was pretty early into the show, the couple behind us started cheering and gave us high fives. That was really funny. But anyway, he was hilarious.
But comedians are supposed to push the bar. I mean, there's times where, yes, it could be very offensive and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
But to get up and leave,
yeah,
I don't know.
I know. And to spend that money. And you're laughing 5 seconds ago. You don't think that he's going to turn the tide and do another joke?
Did you do your big, deep Meko,
I'm sure
I'm at a comedy show
he's
laugh?
funny. He's probably one of my favorites.
Okay. So that guy that takes his shirt off, you know the comedian?
Bert Kreischer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has a new special out on Netflix.
Oh, does he?
So Kylie and her boyfriend were over. Chris was like, oh, maybe we should watch this. Thank God they were getting snacks in the kitchen because within the first 9 seconds of his show, he was like, man, the great thing about losing weight is I can watch my wife give me a blowjob. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know if we're going to be watching this with the kids. Chris is like, maybe it's just one joke. Oh, no. It just
oh, no.
He was on blowjobs forever. So I was like, maybe we should watch something else.
Yeah. He's a wild guy.
Yeah. Well, I've never watched his stand-up before.
He's super funny.
Yeah, okay.
He is super funny. But he is not censored.
No.
At all.
No.
Especially in Netflix or wherever you watch it.
Yeah.
Because that's how he's getting paid.
For sure. I mean, I want to finish watching it.
Yeah.
Just not
okay,
in
good to know.
earshot.
I like him.
Yeah. And he's got this fun little silky outfit on. And within
he rips it off.
3 seconds, his shirt's gone.
Yeah, that's his shtick.
Yeah.
And he calls himself the Machine. Has he gotten to that part yet?
We literally didn't
okay.
listen to
He's
much
funny.
of it at all.
I love Bert Kreischer.
Okay. No. So, I mean, entertaining. Is there one joke that stands out to you?
From him?
Yeah. No,
Or from Sebastian?
Sebastian.
No, he just talks about what he does is he picks out of the crowd, which we thought we were going to get called on, because he'll look out of the crowd and be like, "You two together?
Yeah.
What's your story?" No, there wasn't a joke that stood out. He's just really funny in the way that he delivers things. He's very physical.
Okay.
And so he's always like all over the stage, and he talks with his arms and his
he's
legs.
Italian.
Yeah, he's funny.
Okay.
He's funny in the way he talks about his wife, and
He has a special out, right?
yeah.
I feel like
He has a bunch.
I know I've seen him on Instagram.
He has
Instagram.
the one on Netflix. He's wearing like a tuxedo,
Okay.
I think.
Because I think he's made jokes about going to a musical with his wife before, and I think that's why it showed up in my Insta feed.
Yeah. He talks about, he goes, he had a reel on the other day. He's like, it's worse about, he goes, you know how boring baseball is to watch? It's even worse? 6-year-olds playing baseball. So he makes fun of like his family a lot. It's really funny.
Yeah. I mean, I want to support my friends who have kids that play baseball. I don't, baseball is so boring.
Wow. It's a lot.
Unless you're just,
You got to
hitting
love the
bases
person that's playing.
Right?
Yeah. Because I'm about ready in inning 2.
I know. So, because we have our Loons team here, which is
Yes.
like the amateur team for the Dodgers. Is that
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we go, but it's a nice park. It's
fun.
beautiful, and it's fun something to do in the summertime. But every once in a while, when it's a game and they're like cranking out runs, it's really entertaining.
It is. I love a good pickle.
Yes. Pickle from like the pickle stand?
No, a good, like when there's a guy who's going to steal.
When someone's in a
then
pickle.
Someone's in a pickle.
Got it.
Yes. Is that how you say
I was like,
in
yeah.
a pickle? Yeah. I mean, I played softball for years. I like
You
the game,
did?
and I understand it. I understand the strategy of it, but I don't love to watch it for 9 hours.
When did you
Equals
play
9 innings.
softball?
My whole life.
What? First of all, I didn't even know that you owned a glove,
Oh my God.
but let alone actually played softball, like on a beer league?
Both. I played growing up until
Like
my
on a
freshman
team?
year in high school. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I played in college intramural, and then on a beer league after college.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just
Slow
think of
pitch.
Meko being a cheerleader. I did not think of you as a
I
softball
was
player.
a softball player before.
Wow.
It was the only sport my mom could afford to put me in when I was little.
Okay.
What position?
Several. I was a shortstop mostly, pitcher and catcher, always infield. Yeah.
Wow, you were the catcher?
Yeah. Loved it. I loved being the catcher.
Okay.
The catcher knows everything that's going on.
No, you got a good spot. Good view.
You're the quarterback of the baseball team. Being the
Look
catcher.
at Meko. See, we should have played Two Truths and a Lie with you, because I would have been like, you didn't play softball.
Oh, I know the positions. I know how to keep score.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I used to keep score for teams, like
Oh yeah.
when you had the book and you had to like write in the book and home, you colored it in.
Yes.
One run.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
I know exactly what that book looks like. Yeah. Okay. So while you were having like your fun Detroit, weekend, we did have dinner together Friday night with some friends.
Yes.
But then Saturday,
Yeah. What did you do?
yeah, a whole lot of nothing.
Perfect. I
It's
love those
kind of
weekends.
crazy because Chris is like, did you make plans? And I'm like, nope. And he's like, should we make plans? And I was like, nope. So we were just so busy through hockey season.
Yeah.
And then when there wasn't hockey, then we had plans and something to do. But then I go, is this what empty nesting is going to be like?
Yeah. You can just do whatever you want,
Like,
or
we're just
not do
home.
whatever you want, or not do anything. That's what I meant to
Yeah.
say.
It was wild. So yeah, we did a whole lot of nothing. We binged this new show, The Residents, on Netflix.
Okay, you said that, and I don't know what that is.
Okay, so the late Shonda Rhimes, who does Bridgerton.
Okay.
Okay, so she's very creative, and I think her stuff
You
is
lost
brilliant.
me at Bridgerton, but okay, go ahead.
But the lead character is the chick from Orange is the New Black that had like the crazy like afro puffs and
Yeah.
was
Yep.
like slow. She's the main character.
Okay.
So she's a detective, slightly on the spectrum.
Okay.
Right, just quirky and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. It's so good. It's witty and it like keeps you on your toes.
The resident.
The Residents. So
And it's on
someone gets
Netflix.
murdered in the White House. You know that like in the first
Okay.
5 minutes. And they're trying
down
to
for
solve the
that.
crime. But it's very Agatha Christie meets the movie Clue.
Okay.
Do you remember the movie Clue?
Yeah.
Oh,
Meets
yeah.
Love on the Spectrum.
No.
Oh.
Agatha Christie.
I know, but you said.
Oh, yeah. No, she's a little quirky.
Okay.
But it just makes her entertaining.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Is it new?
Yes, it's super new.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
And we totally binged it. I had stuff to do, but then I came out and I was like, Chris, why are you still watching this? I'm like doing laundry. I started like trying clothes on and like packing my bag. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, no, I just can't stop watching it. So then our vibe was off.
Oh, right. You had to catch up.
I had to catch up the next morning, sauna blanket time. And then, I tried like new hair stuff. So I did like a full blowout in my bathroom. Okay. So then I finished watching it there. It's really good.
Okay.
Yes.
I need a new series.
You'll go through it so fast.
Okay. Cool.
So then I already found a new series.
What?
But here's the sucky thing.
Do not gatekeep.
Dun dun dun. It's on Peacock, so there's commercials.
Oh.
Yes.
I never go on that app.
Right? So the thing is, it's probably an hour-long episode, maybe 45 minutes.
Okay.
But it's drawn out because it's not like back in the day when you would watch something on NBC and you'd watch 20 minutes, 4 commercials, 25 minutes, 4 commercials. It's like you watch 15 minutes and then there's 2 30-second commercials.
Okay.
And then you watch it.
I can handle that. What's the show?
It's called Long Bright River. And Amanda, is it Seyfried? Yeah, she's in it. She's a cop. It's good. It's so good. So at first, Chris and I are like, shit, there's commercials. I don't think we're gonna make it through this series.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that.
Isn't that sad, the tolerance for commercials?
It doesn't exist. Yeah. So we started watching it, but we're intrigued in the first little section. And then the commercials come on. I'm like, I don't know. And we watch the next little section. Well, the next thing we know, we watched 2 episodes.
Well, isn't it going to come on Hulu then? Doesn't Peacock and Hulu, aren't they related?
You know, maybe, but it might be a year later. I don't know.
Yeah,
and I don't know if there's something you can pay for to not have commercials on Peacock. I think you're stuck with commercials.
Oh, really?
I think.
That sucks.
I don't know. I don't need to pay. I don't need to tell myself, it's only $3 more.
Yeah.
Another time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
yes.
I mean, I should probably go through my apps right now and start canceling things.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, so, but
Long Bright River. Okay.
it's really good. It will keep you entertained.
So you
and intrigued.
caught up on shows this weekend.
Yeah, I watched a lot of TV. I tried on all my clothes and bathing suits and all the things. Like, I'm pretty much packed.
Oh, you are?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I bought a bikini on Amazon.
Okay.
It was completely, probably after a couple glasses of wine, so dumb.
Did it deliver yet?
It's here. I tried it on and I actually really like it. And like with my big old lady boobs, it was a crapshoot whether or not it was going to work out. You know?
You like it?
I do.
Okay. Well, that's all that matters.
Yeah. And
you
I
feel
think it was
comfortable
like
in it.
$20.
Oh my God.
So if it falls apart, like
Yeah.
I could go in the water and the chlorine completely disintegrate my bathing suit.
I will tell you, if you get in the water, I'll be the first person to see you get out.
Yeah. Right.
To make sure it didn't disintegrate.
Yeah.
And that you can't see through it.
Right? It's black. So if you see through it, then we've got some problems.
We've got some issues.
So.
And then it doesn't get baggy. You know how sometimes it gets baggy in the butt and it looks like you took a shit?
Well, and I really haven't bought bathing suits lately, except that cheeky one that I didn't wear last year. I do have it packed.
Yeah, you're bringing it.
But I was trying on some of my older suits, and a good problem to have, but the bottoms were a little too big.
Okay, good.
And it was one of those things where it's like, well, I could get away with it. But then I'm like pretending I'm like sitting down in a lounge chair, and then it's like gapped. Well, then you can see my cucaracha.
Yeah.
You don't want that on spring break.
No.
You know?
No.
So some like drunk dad just kind of like peeking over his sunglasses.
Yeah, you don't.
So,
and then after a couple of cocktails,
then I'm not
you're
paying
gonna
attention.
be totally like out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's funny because when we went a couple of years ago, I think I saw my child for 9 seconds the entire week.
Yeah.
The only picture I have with her is on the airplane on our way there.
Yeah.
So, but now she's like, oh, Mom, can we make this TikTok? Can we make this TikTok? I go, I will make any TikTok you want. She goes, oh, I'm so excited to hang out with you and Dad and Mike and Ange. And I go, wow, this is going to be a totally different trip than last time. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So super fun. And then I made this amazing chuck roast on Saturday. That was another thing that I did. So I had defrosted it earlier in the week because Chris was convinced that he was going to smoke it. But then it was kind of cold and crappy. And he's like, I just don't want to be off on my temperature with it being cold outside. I was like, whatever. So I just threw it in the crock pot and just winged it. And he's like, this is the best chuck roast you've ever made. And then I had used my Good Love buttermilk biscuits. Like you've gotten those for Alex before. And they're so good. You don't know they're gluten-free.
I need a buttermilk biscuit, chicken, and biscuit.
So they come
From
raw.
you.
So I have made chicken and dumplings
Or
with
chicken
them.
and dumplings, yeah.
And it's really good.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to make it when we get home. Right? Because we have 2 days before we have to go back to real life. I will make sure that I make chicken and dumplings because we'll probably spend 24 hours without each other and then be like, oh my God, I miss you. So anyways, we actually drank a lot of wine on Saturday too. And then I made this chuck roast over the buttermilk biscuits. And it was probably like the heaviest meal with a lot of wine. So I was feeling pretty inflamed, right? So Chris is like, let's get in the cold plunge. And I have not been in the cold plunge in a long time. And I am a lover of a cold plunge. And we used to do it in our bathtub, had this machine to keep it like really cold.
Do you
and
still
filter.
have that machine too?
I still have the machine.
Oh.
But once Chris got that big cooler for outside,
Just took it out.
because it was ugly in my bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And we can do this thing where we can hook the machine up to the cold plunge or like the cooler outside. We just have to do the conversion kit. But in the wintertime, he didn't really change the water. He just broke the ice and just got in. But that was way too cold. And then I kind of got used to the fact that, because we don't use the tub in our bathroom, that it was just always clean. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you could just Swiffer some of the dust and then it was always clean, not having to worry about it. But now I'm addicted to it again. And I've sauna blanket and cold plunged every day. That we talked about, like keeping cold water like in our tub when we're in Mexico.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I mean, leaving it's not going to work because it's going to be hot.
In Mexico?
Yeah.
I only remember a shower.
The tub is like to the right of like the bathroom sink. Well, because we shared rooms with our kids last time.
Yeah.
So you probably just put clothes on it because it's not like you were getting in the tub.
Oh my God,
it's like
you're right.
in the bedroom.
It was literally a hamper.
Yeah.
For all of our shit.
Yeah. Because it's in the bedroom.
Yeah. And we had 4 people in our room.
Yeah.
It was
It's not made to be a family room.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I have not cold plunged since, have I ever cold plunged?
Well, when we went in a vet's pool.
Yeah, Yvette's pool. That was it. But I sauna every day.
Because you have your infrared one in your basement.
Yeah, I should cold plunge. You do feel good after, I'm sure.
So good. Well, and then like I don't always put my core the outside. It's really freaking cold. Yeah. And then if I get out of the sauna blanket and walk outside, then I'm already cold walking out there. So I don't always put my stomach in there, but my hands and my feet are like the first thing I'm like submerged in there.
Yeah. I mean, the stomach is like where it gets you, where it gets me.
I know.
I'm just like,
but then when you get out, you're like ripped. Like all of your fat cells like shrink. They don't go away. They just get a little tighter.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll try it.
I know. Like I have like abs when I get out.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So all of a sudden you like see me asking for buckets of ice when we're sitting by the pool.
I looked at the weather. It's supposed to be perfect next week.
Oh, I know, right? Did you see rumors online that Taylor Swift is pregnant with Travis Kelce's baby?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. It could have totally been clickbait because so then when I was like trying to find like an article, it was like Times Magazine India and then like these weird like NFL websites, but not from the US. But then Gronk and some other dude, they have a podcast and they must have gotten
Julian
the rumor too.
Edelman.
And they started talking about it.
Oh, did
like,
they?
Oh yeah. Like that Travis needs to put a baby in her like yesterday.
Yeah, because she's done touring.
Yeah.
I mean, for now.
But like that's going to stop her.
I know.
She probably would give
She's
birth
probably
on stage
writing
and then write a song
like
at the
2
same
more
time.
albums right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her baby's probably writing an album in the
inside
womb.
her. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I would believe it. I would believe it. She's that talented.
Right? Mm-hmm. I know. And then, but she's not going to have her friend Blake Lively to help her out because she ditched her and said, don't throw my name in the mud. It's not bad. It's bad for my brand. Bye.
It is bad for my brand. Her brand. Our brand.
All you and Taylor together.
She has a whole machine
I know.
working for her. I mean, the PR, the marketing, all of them that are just like little scrub bubbles on the internet that I'm sure anything goes on. They're just like,
well, and they probably love to have just enough Taylor's pregnant stuff out there.
Yeah.
It's nothing out there is like legit news, right? But it's
feel
just enough to keep people like searching her name.
maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's probably a strategy. She's a very smart marketer, or her team is. So she does these Easter eggs all the time prior to a new album dropping. And she'll do it like a year before. I mean, I'm talking like they plan this shit out. She's got her 3-year plan, her 10-year picture. She's got it all down. And then they'll start just dropping little like hints that people pick up, like these Swifties that are just like scouring the internet. And they'll say, oh my God, she had this and we think that this is going to happen. And 9 times out of 10, they're right.
Isn't it insane?
Yeah. And I remember when what tour she was selling tickets and she had some kind of, it was for Reputation because my girls really, really wanted to go. That was a while ago. And we had to download her album, buy merch, and do one other thing to get in line to get
Didn't you have to have like a
ticket.
Citibank credit card or something? Or was that a different tour?
No, that was a different tour.
Okay.
But we didn't. But anyway, that was just to get in line.
Wow.
And that was like 2 tours ago.
Yeah.
So,
no, she's brilliant.
And all the girls were just like, yep, that's exactly what we'll do.
Uh-huh.
She's brilliant. Anyway.
Good for you, T Swift.
Let's go, Tay.
I know. Do you really think she would do Baby Before Marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think.
So I did see something like an interview with her that just like randomly showed up on my phone. And she's like, oh no, I'm aware of what everyone says about me. Totally aware. The difference between today and 3 years ago, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't care what you think and I don't care what you say, but I'm fully aware of what you're saying.
Yeah.
So
I would imagine. Yeah. Do you look at our reviews and comments?
I have.
Yeah. I don't.
There's really hasn't been anything bad except for the one person that gave us like 1 star on Spotify. I don't know who that is. But other than that, it's actually really good.
Yeah, they're complimentary.
It's weird things on YouTube, and it's not even like they're mean things. They're just like stupid comments.
Random shit.
Yeah. So, but no, not really. And you know what? It doesn't, and I don't feel the need to like look.
Yeah.
You know?
So if you post something personally on your personal page,
Yeah.
do you look at comments or anything like that?
Like on my personal Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm really engaging with people who write underneath my stuff. And it's
you
all
are.
very positive. I
Yeah.
think if it was negative, well, then I'd have to start
Yeah.
thinking about it. But it's not. Because it's either this podcast, gluten-free food, or bar workouts.
Okay.
And it's all stuff where people are just very engaging to like, you know.
Yeah, you want to.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So.
I heard it. I know
Well,
that's
good.
That's not the best.
I mean, for your algorithm to be able to
Yeah.
engage with people,
Yeah.
it definitely puts you out there more. So I would encourage you to respond back.
Yeah.
And not just like a heart to the side that says like, oh, I looked at it and I just like your comment. You reply back to that person with the heart. And that will even improve your Instagram algorithm.
Okay.
So
I'll think about that. I am trying consciously not to be on social media as much because it's a time suck.
it is a time
The
suck.
next thing that happens is then I'm in like, I never go on TikTok,
I really haven't.
but I go on
Except-
Reels.
yeah.
And I know it's older than TikTok,
But
but
it's still the
like
same
it's
thing.
still the same
Yeah.
thing. It's like watching real life happen.
Yeah.
That's not yours.
Yeah.
And then I get sucked in and then I'm buying shit that I don't need.
No, that definitely
and
happens.
I'm subscribing to stuff and I'm signing up for
Like
discounts.
a no shampoo brush. Have you tried the no shampoo
I
brush?
did. It. You know what? It's so sharp. It made my finger bleed.
Shut up. For realsies?
Don't you think it's sharp?
No, it's very sharp.
It's like little knives in a brush.
I haven't cut my fingers. It hurts your scalp at first. And I was
Yes.
like, there has to be a science to this. That you're like keeping a
Now,
bunch
how
of.
am I supposed to brush my hair with it?
After the third day, your scalp actually is kind of into it.
Oh, no, I like it on my scalp. Is there a motion that makes it grow better and not get greasy?
So I don't know about grow better, but there's like underbrushing, and then you end up with like great volume, and then I'll like curl my hair, then I take the brush and brush it and go like this, and then it just kind of like lays nice.
It's because you have more luscious hair than I do. I like how it feels on my scalp, but it makes my hair like frizz.
Okay.
So I must be doing something wrong.
Okay. I like brush it back and loop, 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 loop my finger, and then it just like kind of like falls.
No, I don't have that much hair.
No, you do. I don't suggest, like, there's a lot of like weird tips to like
I like it though.
Wash your hair. I will still use shampoo and
like
conditioner.
to wash my hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My objective is to not wash my hair.
I tried to see how long I could go without dry shampoo. So I went 8 days. Day 8 though, Chris was kind of like, "Are you doing something new with your hair?"
Was he like, "Should you wash your hair?"
And he goes, "You're doing something new with your hair." He's like, "Is that a new like product or something?" And I go, "Oh, I should probably wash my hair today." And he goes, "That's it. It's like kind of flat, and it's probably just dirty, huh?"
Like, did it smell?
Yes, it did, because it smells like sweat and it smells like food that you cooked in your kitchen. But then I tried to, spritz it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it probably stunk.
Because theoretically, if you brush it enough, like the oils, what's the theory behind it?
So what's brilliant about it is you take it and you swirl it in circles on your scalp.
Yep.
And that greasy section of your hair all of a sudden isn't greasy anymore. Like you just put Crown Affair on it.
Oh.
Not dry shampoo, because you know how dry shampoo makes it like look clean but stiff and textured, where that Crown Affair just kind of like soaks up all the grease, right? And it just kind of looks fresh and light.
Yeah.
This has more of a fresh and light thing. There's people putting Instagram ads out saying that they've gone 2 weeks without washing their hair.
That's gross.
I call bullshit. But
also, people wash your hair.
Wash your hair. Because it's still going to get stinky. Like life happens.
You're still producing oils. And also, just like with your face, you should wash your hair too.
So
maybe not every day, but like.
But I like work out every day.
Yeah.
Typically go in my sauna blanket every day. And still made it 8 days where it didn't look like I was homeless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but Chris is like, "Are you doing something different with your hair?" But I definitely, for a $50 brush, I think it's a good investment.
Yeah.
I think
cool.
It's
cool.
I do.
It was just, I was trying to get the bristle or my hair out to clean it.
You use the little rake that comes with
it.
it.
I lost it already.
Oh, Meko.
So I was trying to get all the hair
Use
out.
a fork.
I'm not using a fork. That's gross.
Well, you don't have to eat with it afterwards.
And then I looked down and I was like, that brush punctured my finger.
No,
now I gotta
it
put
is
a
pretty
Band-Aid
sharp
on it.
But I feel like there's got to be a science to way that it like takes the dry skin off your head. I don't have dandruffy hair, but it's supposed to help with dandruff too.
Well, the bristles are like 4 different lengths. Mm-hmm. If you look really close.
Because I feel like there's boar's hair in there. I don't know if that's what it is. Oh. But I have like boar's hair, like round brushes. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's that and
then it has bristles like the wet brush.
Yes. And then there's like, I don't know, scalpels in there too. I mean, it is pretty sharp.
Yeah, little tiny needles.
Yeah.
Just ready to zap you. Glow Medical Spa is Mid-Michigan's premier med spa for skin rejuvenation and anti-aging. The trained nurses and estheticians at Glow specialize in non-invasive facial aesthetics such as toxins, fillers, and lasers. Glow is ranked in the top 1% of all providers in the U.S. for Botox and filler, as well as Black Diamond Icon status for Hydrofacial.
Glow Body specializes in body contouring with Ensculpt Neo, Emcella, Weight Loss Clinic, and Therapeutic Massage. Book an appointment today at glow-skinspa.com.
Okay, so I thought about getting a little deep today.
Okay.
Okay. So we've been very lighthearted talking about TV and all this kind of stuff. But I did have something happen in the past week. No. You know all this. You don't have to look shocked.
I was like, shit, what happened?
I'm not going to get into super details, but what I am going to get into is I believe that you really need to surround yourself with the right people.
For sure.
And I will say that in the situation that I was in, I am beyond blessed to have you and Chris, and the fact that you guys kind of have the same mental attitude about a lot of things, where I could sometimes be a little too motherly, or your guys' big thing is that I don't know my worth in certain situations. And you guys are really good at being like, Katie, don't let people take advantage of you. Know your worth. Like, you don't have to cower down. Like, girl, boss up and go do it. And that's what I want to talk about today.
Let's do it.
Right? So, one, I definitely believe that it's very important that you have the right people around in your life that are supporting you, lifting you up, and not dragging you down. And I think that's all stuff we learn over time. Like, don't you agree? Like, the people that you surrounded yourself in your 20s typically are not the same people that you're surrounding yourself with now.
No, because you just grow apart. And everybody takes their own avenue to whatever they're going to do in life. And then your 20s are kind of the time that you start to figure out who you're going to be. It was for me anyway. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, I mean, I got married in my early 20s, but at the same time, I think when you're younger, sometimes you have the attitude that quantity of friends has more value than the quality of your friends.
Yeah.
And you will learn over time that quantity means jack shit.
It does.
Right?
It does.
It's like shopping. Like, you could go out and buy a plethora of like super cheap stuff just so you have a lot of clothes, or you could buy like 5 really high quality expensive things, but they last you a lifetime.
Yeah. They're a capsule wardrobe.
Yes.
You need a capsule wardrobe of friends.
You do.
Yeah.
And you could gather them in different times of your life. I mean, I have some of my college sorority sisters to this day are some of my ride or die
really
friends.
Great friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, I think when you come into a time of your life, whether it's like a severe struggle, like if, you're going through a divorce or you're lost your job or something like that, the people that are still there cheering you on aren't judging you, right? Maybe they're not helping you find solutions, but they're just supporting you in the process.
Sometimes you don't need a solution.
No, you just need someone that will be your friend. Yeah.
A listener.
For sure. And my other thing is that if you have a friend and when you're done hanging out with them, you're exhausted.
Oh, yeah. Mel Robbins talks about that.
Right?
It's probably the wrong friend.
It's probably the wrong friend.
Where you're just like, or someone calls you, hey, do you want to grab?
You just know it's not going to be productive.
You just know it's never going to be about, I don't know, anything about it's not reciprocal.
No.
It's just a dump.
Right? And it's either they're just dumping on you, or it's so surfacey, or you find yourself talking about things you don't want to be talking about, people you don't want to be talking about, and you kind of like start to feel negative about yourself because you're like, why am I involved in this conversation?
Yeah.
Like, COVID was great because I dropped so much just baggage.
Yeah.
Because you weren't hanging out with people, that when everybody started to resurface again, I was kind of like, no, I'm good.
No thanks.
So,
I'm social distancing.
Right?
Emotionally.
Yes.
Yeah.
But one thing I've always appreciated about our friendship is that either anytime I want to try something new, even if it's just an idea, even if I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to do this, but I think I want to do this, you're like, you should. You'd be great at that. Oh my gosh. And if I asked you to help me to devise a business plan, you would.
Yeah. If you were like, I'm going to invent an atomic bomb, I'd be like, go for it. I totally think that you should.
I know, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
And it's, and sometimes.
And I don't say that to everybody. I'm just saying, like, if you truly have the heart and you're one of my people and you want to do something, go for it.
Right.
I will have a front row seat and cheer you on.
So what's a time in your life And of course the answer is not supposed to be me. But a time in your life when you were doing something, challenging and doing something new, and you can think about like that one friend who was like your biggest cheerleader.
I mean, you, for sure, when I said I was going to open Glow. And you're like, you totally. And I was trying to be quiet about it because it just seemed like a pipe dream at the time.
Okay, so can we talk about this? You sent out a Survey Monkey, okay? And it said in the Survey Monkey, my friend is opening a spa in Chicago, and they were trying to test out names. Now, I immediately am like, Meko's opening a spa. But then I was like, but fuck, she's moving to Chicago. Like, I just found my Midland bestie, the person that I'm like, oh yeah, this chick I could totally hang out with and get down with. And I'm like, she's freaking moving. This is bullshit. So then you did the survey, but then you're like, surprise, I'm opening a spa here. Yeah. And I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, I needed it to be equivalent to the Midwest.
Yeah.
Because we were looking at names.
Yes.
Wasn't that the survey? It was like different names.
It was like Glow. And one of them was Nirvana. And and you're like, that one was my idea. I was like, oh yeah, no, I gave that like a 0 star.
Everybody did.
So
I loved, because of the meaning of Nirvana, which no one knew.
But we all thought of a grunge band, and no one thinks of having clean, healthy skin when you think of a grunge band.
You think of Kurt Cobain's dirty pores.
And the fact that he should have used that Vosa brush on his greasy hair.
Totally. Yeah, that was, in retrospect, that was a horrible choice of a...
No, but I, like, to have a front row seat to watch somebody else be an entrepreneur and not just have it be my family, where you're just like, how are we going to do this? Are we doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Like, freaking out.
It's a lot of errors.
Yeah.
Before it's ever good.
Yeah. But I mean, you've been brilliant at it, you know,
Thanks.
And then when stuff has come your way, right? Like, there's struggles in everything.
Struggle. Oh,
and
there still is today. Like, always.
Yes.
There will be.
But you figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, but so like, but another time.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, my crew in Orange County, those girls at different times have been sort of like my rocks. So Liana and Kim always were like, we were going through babies at the same time. And you remember how difficult that is to try to navigate with a husband that traveled all the time and working full time, and like, just really, they understood we were in it together. It was like the three of us with our kids, and we're just like, okay, we got this. My husband's gone this week. Your husband's gone next week. And I have a work trip next week too.
Yeah.
How are we going to manage? So that was, they got me through a lot. And then, you know, the St. John's moms from the other OC group. So that's why we have such a tight bond, is because I think we were going through those pivotal years together at the same time, and just kind of holding each other up. Like, no, you're not fat. No. You don't have to be Martha Stewart. You don't have to host a birthday party to give out puppies.
Yeah.
You know, bullshit like that.
Yep.
Like where you thought you were falling down as a mom because you couldn't host a party with a petting zoo at every...
Well, and especially in Orange County, where you would probably have this feeling to like keep up with the Joneses, or, oh my gosh, this party was so amazing. It looked like Meghan Markle had it on her TV show.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to have some pizzas in a bounce house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, no, you have a phenomenal group of friends in Orange County. And what I know speaks for our friendship is that the second I met them, I became friends with them.
And they love you.
And that's how you know, like, you're hanging out with the right people.
Yeah.
So,
and it's also how you know that your friend's not talking shit about you.
Right? Well, and that's one of my other things is, you know, the people that you surround yourself with, when you're not in the room and someone's saying something about you, like, are they sticking up for you? Like, I dare someone to say something negative about you.
I know, I do too. I can't wait.
I mean, I'll come with like a Karate Kid like side sweep, you know?
There has been times where you've like stood up for me. And I love you for that. Like, remember?
No.
I can't even say
I'm
it
sure I did.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
You have. Girl, you have. No, I appreciate that about you.
But
I know that you're my ride or die. especially in a room where someone's saying something, you're always like,
like,
defender.
I fucking dare you.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like any of my people.
Same.
You know?
Same.
So, you know, they say that like there's memes out there that it's like, you know, my daughter just came home and she's telling me all the stuff that like, Courtney said at the sleepover. And now I find myself having beef with like an 8th grader.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't mess with my people.
Right.
So, And my big thing is once you hit 40 and above, you have no time. No time for bullshit. So
I'm either away with you or snuggled in my house.
Right?
With my dog.
Well, and we're both at this time in our life, our kids are leaving, right? Now, we are very lucky that I feel like we've always continued to date our husbands, have relationships with them.
They're not always home.
Right? They travel a lot. But now, I don't have multiple children, so we've never had to do the divide and conquer, right? And I know that people that have like multiple kids, it's not an option, right? Like you kind of have to do that anyways. So that is a part of married life and parental life I don't have experience in. So I can't speak to that. But our kids are going away and they're leaving. But our husbands are still going to continue to travel. Yeah. And I'm going to still continue to want to do things without my husband. You know what I mean? And like you
100%.
Need those good friends. Like I'm so excited for September and you and Jody and I to go to New York.
I know, I can't wait.
Oh, and Mr. Nugget's coming.
Oh,
too.
is he coming?
Yes.
Oh, I wish I could bring Callie.
So, I mean, you can.
I mean, I'm paying for a whole other person.
You're paying for a whole other person. Mr. Nugget just goes under the seat.
I know.
And he might have a special vest where I probably don't even have to pay the $90.
Maybe I'll train her to be what is it called?
Your seeing eye dog?
A comfort dog.
Oh, emotional support animal.
Yeah, emotional support animal. They have them at airports though. And sometimes they're like, please pet me.
No, that's amazing.
They're so cute. In the Orange County airport, they have golden retrievers.
Do they?
And they're like, please pet me. And they're emotional support dogs. And these ladies just walk them around.
Oh, I bet you if we see dogs in the Cancun airport, they're not going to say pet those dogs.
They're going to be like, look out. If I'm sniffing your bag, you're fucked.
Oh my God, so funny.
Yes, I think you're right though.
But my other big thing about 40 plus friendships is like, you know, navigating new parts of our careers, right? Like I've seen you go from being a drug rep to a spa owner. Now you're a business coach. Like that's amazing, right? And you the evolution of what you're doing. You know, I was kind of a stay-at-home mom. I always had side jobs.
Yeah, you always had
side
hustles.
I've never like just not worked. But this is the past like 5 years is the time where I've really been like invested in my job here full time, where sometimes I get the Sunday scaries going into a Monday because I'm like, oh my God, like yesterday I completely ignored the fact that on Monday X, Y, and Z is waiting for me when I get there.
Right.
And not in a bad way. Like I get excited and I'm happy to come to work. But right when there's responsibilities on your shoulders and it's like, oh, I got to get this done.
Yeah.
Or
when other people are relying on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. But then just having like good quality people that when you're on your off time, it's good and it's relaxing.
Yeah.
Or if I do have like a business question or, you know, oh, I'm working in this environment question, someone that you could bounce stuff off of.
For sure.
Right? And it's not because you work in the same industry.
Yeah.
But just because you're my friend and you're going to try to like help me navigate the next day.
Yeah. I have your best interest.
Yes.
Mind.
So I have something to tell you.
Oh shit. Is this going to go on air? What?
Yeah, no, this isn't a bad thing. So randomly, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to apply for an LTK and see if I get accepted. I got accepted for an LTK.
What do you mean?
Yes, I did. So here's what I'm going to need you to support me for. One,
cheers.
just look at my LTK. Thank you.
What are you
Follow
gonna
me
put on it?
Well, so I'm like, I'm not someone who's going to stand in front of a mirror and be like, buy these pants, buy these shoes, buy this jacket. Like, that's not who I am.
That's awesome.
Right? It's kind of a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
They search through your stuff and
Holy
they're like,
shit.
yeah, But this really makes me have to go like out a little bit of my comfort zone because now you really have to make content.
I do?
Not
Or
you.
I will help you and I will cheer you on.
Right?
Oh
so,
my
but
God,
I'm like a
Katie.
little nervous about
I'm so
it.
proud of you.
Thank
That's
you.
so awesome.
But I'm really kind of nervous about it.
Why? You're
I
gonna
don't
kill
know.
it.
Cause I'm like, so
We will all help you. What do you mean?
thank you. So now I'm like, oh, well now I gotta start putting videos together.
Okay, let's do it. We'll do
Right?
it all in when we're on our vacay.
I mean, that's when I'm like, you know what?
How many outfits do you need to
This is the greatest thing. This is the greatest way to start. Well, and so I had said this last week.
I have a little light that I charged, and I'll bring it.
Okay.
It's a little.
Well, and I love it that you could be like, Katie, come over here. The wind's hitting you just right.
It's in your hair. And I also have a clicker.
So what does that do? Turn it on and off?
No, it'll take your picture or a video remotely. And you know what else
Okay.
you have to get?
What do I
Have
need
you
to
guys
get?
seen those things? I don't know why it's popping up on my Instagram. That it's for content creators. So the better view is from the
Back of the camera.
back of the camera. But this is a little thing that it's a magnet to the back of your phone.
Okay.
So you can see what you're filming.
See, this is what I'm talking about for good friendships.
Yes.
Like, you need to get
You
this.
need to get this.
Yes.
Google that shit. I don't know
And you know
what
what
it's
my
called.
big thing is that I'm going to be very honest. We talked about this last week. And then once I got accepted, I'm like, you know what? This might be part of my shtick in my niche is that, yes, I bought X, Y, and Z on Amazon. This is great. I like it, blah, 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 blah. Or wherever I get it from.
You don't. You just talked about this.
Yes. But if I don't like it, I'm going to let you know. Because I started going on this deep, like after I was shocked that I got accepted, right? I was like, really? Okay, thanks. Now I really got to get to work. But then I'm like looking at all these like curated things that people put together. And then
Some
you
of it's
actually.
so fake.
It's so fake. I'm like, you did not buy this because right now I'm looking at it. It's not even available anymore. Now, granted, you could have put this together a while ago.
Yeah.
But then the reviews of it are terrible.
Yeah.
But you put it together because it just looks good on this like
Also-
lookbook page.
Also, it could look good on you, but not on somebody else.
Correct.
And vice versa.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
right?
Okay. So I love it because you're going to be like real life LTK.
Real life LTK. This isn't going to be fake
That should
stuff.
be your thing.
It should be
Real
my
life,
thing.
Katie.
See?
Real life.
This, look at us
Real
collabing
life,
right here.
Katie.
Right?
This
Yes.
is the business plan in real time.
It is because I feel like that's who I am. Like then I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, love my On Clouds. They're great. And I wore my Chloe purse here. But then I have these $10 pants on Amazon.
That's okay.
That look and feel like Lululemon.
I have the same pair from Lululemon.
Right?
I thought they were.
I know. So
They're good.
and
They're good.
that's
High low. High low.
I'm very into high-low right now. So the quality pieces that will last you a lifetime, like a good purse,
Yeah.
right? But then these, like, if these aren't stylish next year, I'm not going to be pissed about it that I spent $100 on them because I spent like 10 or 20 or whatever they were.
And then you donate and you're moving on.
And you're totally fine with it. Although they are very comfortable, so I probably would still wear them around the house.
Amazon has some really great workout clothes.
You
I don't know the brand of it, but I've bought a couple things and the material is just like Lulu or oh my God, what?
Viore.
Viore. Like
So-
that soft, buttery.
Yes, Everyday Soft from Target right now, my obsession.
Really?
And it's all 30% off right now. So at the Everyday Soft.
Okay.
The
That's the
pants. It's like the style. So it's whatever the Target Active brand is that has like the 3 little arrows on it. But they have like their version of Gymshark, and they have their version of, you know, something else.
Yeah.
But the Everyday Soft to me is like a collab between Lululemon and Viore. It's very, very soft. But the pants, like the leggings, just enough compression where you kind of feel like I feel like fucking ripped and like like
okay.
tight and put together when I'm those are my bar leggings of choice. Hands down. And they're $25 full price. And I think at 30% off, they're in the teens. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have one complaint, Target. Today, I bought enough shit. They gave me a $10
yes.
gift
Yeah.
card. I didn't buy. It's just like if you buy I bought sunscreen. for spring break.
I know, but right now,
You get that $10 thing. So the manager came over, and she's like, you got to use this particular card to give you credit. And then she left because she was helping somebody else that was confused at the register. And it never went through.
Rude.
And now I have this empty gift card.
That's
It's
the
at
worst.
Target.
Because I usually give those to Kylie. Like, because it's like $5.
is like great.
Especially to your teenage daughter.
Yeah.
I'm like, here you go. Yeah. And when she's like, Mom, like there was nothing on this. And I was like, bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, but if you don't have your receipt, you can't remember when you got when you got it. I mean, it's just a waste of paper.
I know. Anyway.
So, well, now that we talked about how amazing we are as friends and that we
we're good
choose
friends.
all the right
We're good
people.
friends.
What do you do for the energy vampires that are in your life? The friends that you're like, here's my thing about an energy vampire.
Definition.
Definite people who always need something, never reciprocate, and somehow always leave you drained.
Dump them?
You have to dump them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they can stay on the surface, especially if they're part of a friend group.
Friend groups are great for vampire people because they can just kind of hang out in the periphery and you don't have to have a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And you can still be kind. Yeah. But like, I'm not trying to be a bitch. I just don't want to hang out one-on-one like
Right?
that.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just takes up a lot of time. I'd rather scroll through fucking TikTok.
I've spent too much time in certain friendships worried about what are they thinking of me. Like, oh my gosh, did I upset them when I said this or I did that? Well, I know I did because they told 9 other people about it, you know? So
Yeah.
no, and I feel like you gave me a lot of courage to get through some friendships like that too when we first started hanging out. So
Well, I hope I didn't damage any.
no, you saw right through this where you're just like, hello, this is not okay. This is not how life should be. Because it is okay to step away from friendships that do not make you a better person. It's okay to step, and I mean, this is like my PSA announcement. I am not a therapist. I have no education except for life.
We are not doctors.
Yes.
We only play them on a podcast.
Right? And like, just want to give encouragement. If this friendship is dragging you down, it gives you low self-esteem. You find yourself in like some sort of like imposter syndrome situation where you're like questioning like how you live your life or your marriage or you parent or keep your home. They're not a good friend.
No.
You
And
know?
they're also like a terrible person. Have you ever heard the phrase hurt people hurt people?
Well, no, but that makes all the sense in the world.
Most people that do that are insecure about something in their life for themselves. And so they have to project it on other people to make it think it's your problem.
Yes.
And that is gaslighting as a
101.
definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't enjoy those people. And you can kind of spot them out. My favorite new thing to do at a party is to try to guess the person's personality without knowing them. I did this at a dinner that we were
Can
at.
we play this in Mexico?
Yes.
Okay.
I did this at a dinner when we were at, I won't even name the place because it will give it all away.
Okay.
And I was spot on. It was so fun. I was
Okay.
like, oh, I know her.
Yeah.
She needs to be right. She needs to tell everybody that she's right. And she needs to belittle the people around her so that she's right. Meanwhile, she is so insecure about her life or whatever she's doing that she has to do that in real life.
Right.
To make her feel like awesome.
And it's just
I love that shit.
But it blows my mind that you think people don't see through that.
Yeah.
I value someone when they're just like, well, you know what? I did it all wrong. I fucked up.
Yeah. Same. Yes. Yes.
Or like watching
It's
that
just genuine.
the TV show I was talking about with Amanda. What did I
Seyfried?
say? What did I say it was called? Long River something?
Longboat? No.
Long Bright River.
Yeah.
So she went to Penn for 1 year, right? That's the Ivy League school,
Yep.
right? So this guy's like, hey, he's like, I heard you went to Penn. I knew I liked you. And she's like, oh, but I only went for 1 year. And he's like, doesn't matter. Like, you were still there. And how many times, and I know I've done it, where I wouldn't have said, well, I only went there for 1 year. I've been like, oh yeah, no, I went to Penn. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but valuing someone who's like, yeah, I did.
Genuine.
I quit after 1 year, but I did go. And one, still amazing that you got in. You still went there for 1 year. They haven't said why she quit yet.
Oh.
But, you know, just valuing like the honesty in some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't do things perfect. 90% of the time, they're really fucking wrong. But that's how you learn and you move on and 100%. You do it better round 2, round 3 and 4.
It's being coachable.
Yes.
It's being like in a way that somebody gives you feedback and you're like, okay, thanks. Yeah. Somebody gave me feedback today in a text and I was like, I could have completely been offended and been like, fuck you.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like, thanks for that's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just humility, I guess. But when you were going back to your people that you've hung out with, somebody once told me you can either be an anchor or a motor. And you always want to be an anchor. You want to move people along. You don't want to, motor.
Yeah.
You want to move people along. You don't want to be an anchor.
No. And if I leave the room, I don't want you or anybody else saying like, oh, fuck, that Katie, man, what an anchor in my life. I need to move on. It'd be like, no, I want you to say encouraging things.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but it's how am I leaving my essence, because I can't think of a better word.
Your legacy.
When I leave a room, right? Especially after I've met someone for the first time.
Yeah, your reputation. It's your reputation.
Yeah. And Chris made me listen to a podcast, and it was like kind of a brilliant thing to listen to. But the guy was kind of like, when you meet someone for the first time and questions start going back and forth, you know, that person can leave the conversation finding out a lot about you and think that you're the most fascinating person in the room. Or they can leave that conversation thinking, wow, I'm the most fascinating person in the room because I asked that person asked the right questions, that I was the one. Like that was
you
constantly.
made them feel good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after I heard that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start thinking about that. You know, not because I go out on a tangent talking about myself. I'm just a talker. And especially after a couple of glasses of wine, you want to talk about something? I'll talk about it. We'll talk about all the things. You know, it doesn't have to be about myself.
Yeah.
But yes, I want people to think that they are the most interesting person in the room after they've talked to me.
That's awesome. That's a great goal.
Right?
I think everybody should try to strive to that.
Not like, oh, fuck, that was exhausting.
Wow. Well, we've all walked away from conversations like that where we're just like, I know so much about that person. I don't think they remember my name.
Right? Yeah.
Which is okay. It just tells you where they are in their life or maybe where their comfort level is.
And all you need to know about
in
them,
a social situation. Maybe they're like socially, you know what.
Are you ready to transform your body and mind? Rebar Fitness Studio in Midland, Michigan is what you're looking for. Rebar isn't just a fitness studio, it's a community where strength meets serenity. Whether you're flowing through a yoga sequence, sculpting with bar, or unleashing your energy in a work or pound class, Rebar Fitness Studio offers something for everyone. Their expert instructors create an inspiring and supportive environment that will have you reaching your goals and loving every minute of it.
Elevate your fitness journey. Join Rebar Fitness Studio family today and discover the workout experience you've been waiting for. You can go to rebarmichigan.com and use code LHTT15 to receive 15% off a punch card or monthly membership.
So I normally don't listen to very educational things in the car. But you said that you love Mel Robbins' podcast. And I feel like I needed all of the good juju to boost my self-esteem after I got like this acceptance. Cause I'm like, okay, now I got to get to work.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It was just.
That's a boost in and of itself.
I thought it was going to come back like a hard no, but it was just one of those things where it was out there and I'm like, I'm just going to fucking do it and see what happens.
Yes, you
No's
should.
are free. And then I got accepted. So I'm like, okay, yes. Now I need all the encouragement in the world. So randomly, I just picked it was Mel Robbins' podcast, and it was a newer one, and she had this Dr. Julie Smith on.
I listened to it this morning because you told me about it, that you were going to get her book.
Yes.
And so I listened to that exact podcast. It was great.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
It was so good.
She's enlightening.
She's very enlightening. So this is what I have about her book, which is awesome. So it's a book called Open When. And this is her second book. I kind of forgot what her first book was. It was something like Things I Wish I Would Have Known or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's not the title, but it's something like that. But Open When. And she wrote these letters for her children for when they're in pickles of life, just like your baseball game. They're in a pickle of life, and it's like, open this letter. And I've only listened to the first chapter. And this was... oh shit, let me get my phone out.
So that's the premise of the book? Because the podcast, she didn't say that.
Get deep on it?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
She just talked about kind of generalities of the book. But it was great. I would definitely get the book.
I mean,
does she narrate it?
She narrates it.
Oh, I like her voice.
She does. She has a great English accent. She does talk slow. You don't have to go start to finish. Literally, you can save this and open when you need it.
Aw.
So, and I didn't really realize that until I listened to the first chapter. And it's chapter 1 is when you compare yourself and you come up short. And I was like, okay, I kind of resonate with this right now, because now I'm going to look at like people who are big creators on LTK and they're like crushing it, right? And you're going to look at that. And I have like this webinar I have to do tomorrow and all this stuff. So I could have like a comparison syndrome, but what I don't want it to do is suck me into a hole and say I can never be as good as them. Yeah. What I want it to be is encouraging. Yes. So it's very good it's very good at explaining that.
Oh, I'll have to read it.
And it's also very good at explaining if you're on the other side of someone who's comparing themselves to you, how they could alienate themselves from you, how all of a sudden they can just be very like condescending and nitpicky and like angry.
Because they're jealous.
Yes, but but when it's happening to you, you don't see that. You think there's something wrong with you.
You're like, you're being a bitch.
Right. Well, yeah. I sometimes I need to channel my inner Meko and be like, no, I'm good over here. The problem is with you. But here's some of her other books or her other chapters. Open when your friends are not your friends. I haven't listened to that yet, but I feel like it's going to be a good one. Open when you want to be less awkward around people.
Okay.
Open when you keep saying yes, but you really want to say no. I need to read that sometimes. Open when you're dealing with passive aggressive people. Open when your parents got it wrong.
Oh, yes.
Never you, Super Dave.
Yeah.
Open when they don't love you back. And I feel like that's well, and it's one of those things where I remember a boyfriend in college who I thought was like, oh my God, he's so amazing. And I'm so in love with him. And then he cheated on me and I should have dumped him and then just have it be over. I didn't, I took him back, and I think I took him back a second time.
And it wasn't Chris.
It was not Chris. And I remember being in my dorm room and a boy in his fraternity was in my room, like hanging out with me and my roommates. And I was like, why can't he just love me the way that I love him? And he goes, I'm telling you right now, you don't want him to love you the way that you love him. Like, walk away. This is stupid.
Yeah.
He's not good for you. And I guarantee it will be a very toxic relationship if he loves you the way that you love him. And I'm like, whatever.
You know what? Right now, Katie, he's ugly, bald, and poor.
That I don't know.
I'm manifesting that onto him.
But what I do know is that when he finally loved me the way that I wanted to be loved, I was like, you're fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
You're a loser. And I should have listened to my friend, because this is a complete, utter waste of my time.
Well, it's just a life
lesson.
And
he became an anchor.
Well, and he loved you because he thought he was going to lose you.
Yes.
Maybe he doesn't have the capacity to
Oh,
love.
no. When he found out I was engaged, I heard from a couple of his fraternity brothers that he cried.
Good.
He should have. Fuck
Good.
you. Anyways.
Tears. Niagara Falls tears. Meh. Sorry. I'm telling you, he's ugly, fat, and bald.
Open when they love you, but you won't let them get close. Open when you want to win the argument. Open when it's hard to ask for help. And it goes on and on. There's another section that when it's hard to be with yourself, when it's hard to be with your feelings. So
I'm totally buying that book for my girls.
I just think, and it's one of those
And for
things
me.
where you just have to and tell them, I'm 100%, this is like giving that to Kylie.
Yeah.
And it's, you don't have to read it start to finish,
No.
but when you're in like this weird phase where you're just like, I want to call my mom, but I'm not going to call my mom because maybe it's like not that big, won't be that big of a deal. Because you know how sometimes when you start talking out loud, which is why you have 8-minute friends, but you start talking out loud and you're like, okay, this doesn't really
this is
sound as
stupid.
bad
Yeah.
as I'm like, I'm spinning it around in my head. But I just think it's a great reference for life. And I'm going to say females over males just because I feel like there's like a natural like motherly factor to it, but I think it's beneficial for everybody. So
awesome.
Dr. Julie Smith, Open When.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to order it
Okay.
right now on Amazon when
Yeah,
we get
there you
done
go.
with the show.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was great. It was a great podcast. I love Mel. I love Mel Robbins. She's great. I loved Let Them. I love all of her.
But she's another
She's
one.
so wise.
I love her honesty. Now, granted, the woman has come out the other end, right? Like,
But that's part of her story.
Yes.
That's why she's so wise.
and who
because she's
she
been
is.
through shit.
Yes. But it's one of those things where, you know, you can relate to someone because they're being honest.
Yes.
And authentic, saying, hey, I was in a fuck ton of debt. I was about to lose my house, this and that. But I buckled down and was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop comparing myself. I'm going to put my shoes on and I'm going to bust ass and get it done.
Yep.
And
My
admits
contact
that
is bugging.
this woman who goes on speaking tours and books. Are you okay?
No, my contact is bugging me.
Oh, no.
Can I pause?
Pause.
And take it out?
Take it out. If you enjoy our banter as much as we do, show us some love. Like, rate, follow, and share us with your soul sisters, your friends, acquaintances, random strangers on the street, your mortal enemy, and your family. And hey, tell us what you want our next episode to be about. It's like it's girls' night, but it's for all of us. Cheers to laughter, insights, and moments that matter. Let's keep this party going. Do you feel better?
See, yes. Yes, I can see.
I love
my
it.
eyes don't hurt. Anyway, I'm going to I'm going to buy that book, actually. Like 3 copies.
There you go.
That's a great, great gift.
I think it's a great gift, and I think it might even be, it's a great gift for other kids who are graduating that you would give as a gift. Like you could give that to Julia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with her graduation present.
That is a great grad gift. Great grad gift. And like,
Especially because she's going away to college, like far from home.
Yeah.
You know, because I was thinking about that. Like other, you know, young
tell me
adults
who you're
in my
gonna
life.
give it to so we don't copy.
They're the same people. But yeah, you know.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. So I remember when Alex had a friend who gave her, she was going through stuff, I think it was early in high school, and they made her cards open when you're sad, open when you're feeling lonely.
Yes.
Open. And it was really sweet.
No,
and
that's very
I
sweet.
like want to tear up thinking about that.
Yeah.
And it was just like I think she'd open a couple, meaning that she had some stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really, really sweet.
So what I'll say about Dr. Julia Smith's book is I only listened to the 1 chapter, but it's coming from a psychologist's point of view, but it's also coming from like real life stuff that she's
a
been
mom.
through.
She's a wife.
Yes.
She's a
So I think it's good. So, was some of the stuff in the first chapter something I really needed to listen to? No, because I'm not going through that right now.
Right.
But I was like, okay, you know what? I don't have to listen to this start to finish. Maybe some of these chapters I can just wait to listen to till I need to open one.
love it.
So.
Shout out Dr. Julie Smith.
Right? So 10 out of 10 would recommend. And I think it will make a great gift.
So I'm reading this book for my book club for my neighborhood.
Is this a show though?
No.
Okay.
No, you're thinking of the Motley Crue what was that?
Oh, I think it's just The Dirt.
The Dirt.
But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, American Dirt is I don't even know who the author is. I should look.
Okay.
It's a really interesting novel. It's something that I wouldn't have picked up, which is the great thing about book clubs, because sometimes you start reading something, you're like, I never would have read this, except it's a really good book. So shout out Anne Lang.
Okay.
Awesome book. It is about a woman who is trying to escape the cartel with her 6-year-old son.
Oh, I wonder if I read
this book. It's so captivating, and my heart rate is probably at like a 102 reading through the whole book, because it is like, you're like, holy shit, are they going to get through this? And then they have to go through on a train to try to, like, they're ultimately trying to get to Colorado.
Okay. Is this a true story?
I don't even know. I should look.
Okay.
It's from Acapulco. So when Acapulco was like the destination for tourists.
Yes.
And I'm not even sure what time it's set in.
I would think probably like late 70s, early 80s is going to be my guess. Yeah.
And then it got decimated by the cartel. So they're trying to escape and whatever. So it's good. It's
interesting.
Really good.
I either read this book or it got turned into a miniseries and I watched it. Because it sounds very familiar.
I mean, and the fact that she owned her own bookstore prior to, there's a hair on my microphone. She owned her own bookstore prior to her leaving Acapulco and befriended this man. So she's married.
Okay.
Happily married, has a baby or has a boy, and befriends this guy who keeps coming into her bookstore, who just kind of schmoozes her and is really smart. But so they have this like intellectual thing, right? Nothing sexual, nothing. She doesn't even go there. But turns out he is the head of the cartel. So I don't know yet. I'm not to that part of the book. If he was actually responsible for the shit that happened, why she has to escape. Or not.
Well, TBD. You can give that intel while we're in Mexico when we podcast.
It's so good. It's so intriguing. Like it's a fast read because you're just trying to get to the next page to see what happens next.
So do you feel like it's okay? I think that your book's a little different because you're like excited to get to the next chapter because stuff is happening. Chris and I are currently watching 1923, amazing Taylor Sheridan show. But now I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, can these people go through one more fucking thing?
Yes.
Can they just find safety? Can they just find each other?
And food.
Can they stop getting bitten by rabid wolves? Like, I'm over it. You know, I'm over all of the destitute. I'm looking for a little happiness here, people.
They need a break.
Ooh, so what's the lady? You know everybody's names. I know no names. The actress who is Harrison Ford's wife in 1923, older English lady, white hair.
Oh, Helen Mirren?
Yes. So she's coming out with a new show.
Is it called 1924?
No. No, but it's about like mob life. It might even be called Mob Life.
That's awesome.
But she's like the mob wife of like the head dude, but like keeps the family in line. Like you're all gonna fucking crumble without me.
Soprano.
And who's the other guy? He was in Peaky Blinders. He was the Jewish rum maker. He's also in Venom. Randy. What's his name? Yes. Hardy. Tom Hardy's in it.
Tom Hardy, like the brand?
No.
Remember the brand?
No, but that's his name, really, right? Tom Hardy?
I don't know. I never saw Peaky Blinders.
Really?
No, I can't do a lot of
subtitles. You need the subtitles. It was my sauna blanket show for months.
I know. So I don't understand a lot of accents.
That's why you need the subtitles.
This is a weakness about myself. I don't understand British accents. I don't understand Irish accents, and I definitely do not understand Scottish accents. And when they're all there together in the UK, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck they just said. Subtitles are my friend. I do get it. But then I get lost in the culture, and then I'm not interested, and they're very white. No one gets a lot of sun. And they drink a lot, and so they're drunk, and then you don't understand.
So you know what got me is the amount that they smoked on Peaky Blinders.
Oh, really?
Cigarettes? I'm not gonna lie. Every once in a while, I enjoy a good Parliament. Bring it.
But
love it.
They smoke cigarettes?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like,
interesting.
but it was I don't know. Well, they bootlegged for, so it had to have been like in the 30s,
Oh, okay.
right? So, I mean, would it have been the 30s or would it have been the 20s? I don't really know
don't
my
know.
history. So much smoking. So much smoking.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I work for Philip Morris. I'm not anti-smoking.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the accents get me.
Yeah. No, they were big on their
I like that
accents.
smoking is back in some movies, though. You notice that? Like in that Kate Hudson show. Wasn't she smoking? Somebody was smoking.
Oh, I love that for her.
Yeah.
Was it the brother in rehab?
No, I think she was smoking. Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't remember.
Oh.
But if she
But
was,
I was thinking,
brilliant.
like, huh, we're back.
Kate.
We're back, Philip Morris.
Every once in a while, my husband and I go down for a barn dart. So you should probably just
There you go.
Probably just come down,
it's
hang out.
kind of relaxing.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need one. It happens.
And nicotine is kind of good for brain stimulation.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's the tobacco that's bad for you.
It's the tobacco, but the nicotine is good for brain health. Yeah. I used to smoke Marlboro Lights in the box, 100s.
Oh, I remember we would go buy these little drops that you would put on the filter.
To make it mentholy?
No, it would, flavored. So it'd be like
Oh.
peach, watermelon, grape, cherry.
Well, then that's just bad for your teeth.
No, it was just like a aroma. I guess you would call it.
Interesting.
So, all right, you ready for questions?
Yeah.
I only have 3 today.
Okay.
Well, I already know the answer number 1 because my question was, what book are you reading right now? It's American Dirt.
Yeah. American Dirt. I'm reading 3 different books.
How? Like, how do you keep them straight?
Well, because it's like a TV show. You keep them straight. Also, you know what we never talked about?
What?
White Lotus. This past episode.
I didn't watch it, so we can't.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Katie.
Because it was
Go
just on
watch it
Sunday,
tonight.
right? Okay, we will.
It is mind blowing.
No, it's really funny because I was working today and I was like, I think a new episode of White Lotus came out on
Holy
Sunday.
shit. Holy shit.
And Chris and I
can't
were
believe
watching that
you've- have
show
you
with
looked
commercials.
have you looked on Netflix?
No. Netflix. It's on HBO.
Or, I mean, sorry.
Max.
On Instagram.
Nothing's shown up in my feed. It's like my phone knew. My
Wow.
phone knew.
Okay.
Okay, well, what are the other 2 books besides American Dirt?
Oh, Main Street Millionaire.
Okay.
I'm still reading that.
Yep.
And then the Malcolm Gladwell book. I'm still reading that.
What's that?
It is called the what is it called, Randy? He laughed.
Is it a business book?
No.
Okay.
It's a sociology book.
Okay.
I can't remember.
So
It's
you
his newest
a,
book.
a business book, a brain book, and then entertainment.
Yeah.
So that makes sense while
Yeah.
you're reading 3 at
I
the
wouldn't
same
read
time.
like 3 entertainment books.
Right. Like
'cause
3
they would get
thrillers at the same
too
time. Yes, they
confused,
would
yeah.
intertwine. So that makes sense while you're reading 3 books. Okay. Go.
All right. If you could instantly acquire one new skill or talent, regardless of practicality,
Ooh, okay.
what would it be and why?
So many things. But if I could do anything, and I think I might have said this before, but I really feel strongly about this. If I could just remodel and do handy things around the house, but never need anybody else's help. Like I could have like 12 hands and arms and legs and,
You know, all the equipment.
ultra human
You know how to
strength.
do
I have
it.
all the tools, all the things, and the brain power to know exactly how to do it right the first time.
Oh.
Because I mean, there's definitely, even if I've like learned something from my dad or like you watch a YouTube thing, sometimes you still fuck up,
Yeah.
or maybe that what you were taught was not the right way.
Right.
So yes, I would do it right the first time. I would have all the tools and I wouldn't have to wait around for extra help. There's nothing worse than it's like, you need an extra set of hands to do this.
100%. And I think as women, we know this, which is why we move furniture around on our own. I could move a 1,000-pound couch.
Yes.
If I wanted it in a different spot,
Yep.
I will get it that fucker
Yep.
there.
Yep.
I cannot wait around until someone comes home from a trip
Yep. Nope.
or for help.
100%.
If you want that couch moved, you're going to do it.
Yep.
Or a car or whatever.
Yep. No, just wait. I don't like that blank wall. You'll just show up from a trip and there'll be a new fireplace in our living room.
And it'll be painted. Yeah, with stones and
Yep.
whatever else
Yep.
you need to do.
Yep,
Yeah,
for sure.
You'll figure it out.
What's something that you used to eat or drink all the time, but now you won't even touch?
Oh my God. So when Randy and I lived in Philadelphia,
Okay.
and we were single. I
Yeah.
mean, we were married, but we had no children.
Yeah.
We used to eat almost every night a half a gallon of Edie's ice cream. That was I can't even remember the flavor. It had chocolate chunks, marshmallow,
Was it like Moose Tracks?
sorta, but
Okay.
no peanuts.
Okay.
And then we would eat as an appetizer before our dinner half a box of Cheez-Its. This is after coming home from the gym. We'd eat Cheez-Its. We'd eat our dinner that we just got takeout from our little deli in Philly. And then we would eat ice cream as a dessert. We'd share it. We just open up the gallon with 2 spoons.
No
We'd
way.
start
I don't
scooping
know
out.
if I've ever really seen you eat ice cream.
I don't anymore.
Yeah.
Because it makes me sick, actually. But we did. And then one day we were like, God, we're fat. What happened? Maybe we should just cut that shit out.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's funny because I will remember when Kylie was small, I would not eat ice cream all winter long. But then in this town, we have a couple of really cute creameries, right?
And they're good. They make their own. It's
Yes.
good.
And we lived in a spot. Well, the first place we lived in town, we could ride our bikes to a couple different spots. But where we live now, you're not, because there's like no sidewalks. So we'd have to drive. Well, now you're just driving to go eat ice cream.
Yeah.
And you're not working anything off. So yeah, no, I would always get chunkier in the summer. Most people get skinnier in the summer. I always got chunkier in the summer.
I do too. I still do. I mean, I still try to keep my weight the same, but in the summer, I definitely get more puffy.
But, is it
Because
because
I think I'm up later.
drinking on patios?
Yeah.
I think that might be the
Because
source
in the
of
winter,
my
I'm
issue.
straight in bed by 8
Yeah.
because it's dark. It's been dark for 3 hours already. And
Well, right now we're in this weird, crazy time where it's light till almost 8 o'clock, but it's shitty outside.
yeah, it's snowing right now, I
Ugh,
think.
it's
so
so
bad.
ugly and gross.
It's so bad.
That you can't do anything outside. That was Chris's big thing. He was like, "There's so many things I want to
Yeah.
do in my barn and in the yard, but I am not doing any of those because
No,
it's cold and
it's
it's
cold.
windy out."
And that's a
So-
lot for Chris to say because he's an outdoors guy.
right? And
I
he's
don't
like, "I'm
have
just going to sit
anything
on
to
this
do in my
couch and
barn
just
or
watch
yard."
the show." Yeah.
But I hate being outside in that type of weather. And just to hang out on a patio is super fun.
I love my patio in the
Yeah.
summer.
And a good fire and all
Mm-hmm.
that. If you could experience one moment in your past again, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a really good question. It's a really good question. It's going to be, what is it going to be? Man, I always say if I had a time machine and I could go back in time and hang out with Kylie when she was 3-4 years old, her imagination was gold. I mean, absolute gold. And we lived in the middle of the woods. Fuck all to do. So her imagination was so entertaining. I would just go back to one of those days where we just had nothing to do, but her and I would be in the backyard and she would make it seem like you went on this adventure. There was unicorns and rainbows and fairies. And the way that she would describe it and talk about it, you could almost see it.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what I would want to go back to because it was fascinating.
And isn't it funny how now you think about it and you're like, I would give $1 million to do that.
Yes.
Right? And so a long time ago, my really good friend and old neighbor told me that I remember struggling as a mom with 2 young kids, mostly alone. Randy was there, but then when he would travel.
Yeah.
And she's like, and we thought about having a third. And she's like, don't think about your life right now. Think about how many people you want around at your Thanksgiving dinner table. And she's kind of right.
Yeah.
Because you're just so presently in the moment and not soaking it in.
Yeah.
I didn't, at least, because I was just like, trying to survive.
Yeah,
in a
no,
way.
there was definitely times where you're just like overwhelmed,
You're like,
or
oh,
I'm like,
okay, honey. Like, mommy, look. You're like, okay, it's cute, or whatever. But
I
you
say
weren't,
this. I
like,
don't want you
in
to
it.
think that every moment I was like, the best mom ever. Where I documented nothing.
Yeah, same.
And we didn't have video phones like we have
Right.
now either, but I remember that. Like
Yes.
you could go outside with her and you were on an adventure. I remember one time we hosted a hunt for disabled children. Mm-hmm. So all these families came in. Kylie was 4 years old and she said that she was going to take everybody on a tour of the ranch. So these people just started following her and they're like walking down the road. They went across the bridge and they came back and they were saying like, oh, these flowers. And they like made up some name. And I go, oh, is that what they're called? She's like, well, that's what Kylie said that they were. Like all these things. And it was
That's so
that I asked
cute.
Kylie about it. And she's like, well, they all just started following me and they believed everything I said. So I just kept talking.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome. Yes, I agree. I would live those days over and over and over.
Oh, and especially when they just looked at you like you were the most amazing person on the planet.
guess that's why when people have grandbabies, they are just magical grandparents because they
Yes.
think about their kid. They see their child
Yep.
in that little person.
No, that's well said.
And they are like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
now I have to be the parent that I wanted to be.
Yeah, because when you were actually the parent, you're like, I need to be able to afford groceries. I need to be
Yes.
able to do this. I'm planning for the future.
And
I'm doing all this
also,
stuff.
I need to educate you, and you need to learn your alphabet by the time you're 3.
Yeah.
And let's work on this and like cut out the bullshit. Let's go. Let's sit down, and you need to color
Yep.
or
Yep.
whatever you're doing. You know,
Or like even in now terms, no screen time, right?
oh, right.
But screens were coming out when our kids were little. We're like, this is the most amazing invention ever. Take this now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Mickey Mouse Club. Chris had one of the first iPhones. Like we waited in line to get it. And I'll never forget, we went out to eat. We put Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on the phone and Kylie just sat in her high chair and was like
it's
glued to it and entertained.
hypnotizing.
And we were able to have a conversation
Right.
and enjoy our meal. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah. And I mean, my kids still turned out pretty good. So
She's
all
fine.
of you like non-screen time parents, I mean, you should probably, let them have a
Your
little bit of
kids
screen
watch
time.
a little TV.
Yeah.
Blue's Clues, whatever it is. My dog watches Blue's Clues.
Oh, Kelly.
Evie puts it on for her because she read something that dogs like to watch themselves in cartoon characters. And so she put on
Interesting.
Blue's Clues when we leave for Kelly. So she's not lonely.
That's very sweet. What can I do for Shay since she's blind?
Blue's Clues. She
You think
hears it.
she would just like to hear Blues Clues,
Yeah.
Blues Clues?
Is that what they do?
I don't know. I think so. I don't really remember. I remember the Backyardigans.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that was cute. Yeah.
Okay, here's my last one. Is there a song right now that when you're gonna get in your car and you gotta turn it on, you gotta jam on it to the way home?
Oh.
The way home.
Not really.
No.
No, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, but it depends on the day.
Okay.
Right? Like it depends on my mood. I love Chapel Roan. So I listen to her a lot. Like when I want to listen to music. 'Cause
Okay.
she's like, it's like today's pop.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know. I listen to Taylor.
But you'll still listen to current music. I'm
do.
kind of such an old head where I'm like, meh, it's all 80s on 8 for me.
Oh, yeah. I do listen to.
And well,
Which
and you
one?
know, if the median age in my bar class is 40 plus,
Yeah.
it's an 80s techno class.
I love
100%.
those. I love your playlist.
Yeah, hands down.
It's great.
When I have a younger crowd, I'll usually go for like a mashup kind of playlist.
Okay. Your
I have
playlists
I
are
have this
always
brilliant DJ who literally puts DJ playlists together at 130 beats per minute, which is perfect for a bar class.
Yeah.
So I never have to think about changing the song. It's perfect, steady throughout
and
the whole
it
thing.
doesn't stop.
Well,
No,
and
you
then
have- you have
but
great
you know how
playlists.
sometimes someone's so obsessed with the music that
At bar?
the instructor,
Oh.
where the instructor is so concerned with changing the music.
Oh.
Well, you've only been to my classes.
I don't know
Probably
this.
in the past 5
I
years.
don't know this person.
So it just plays on. But yeah, that stresses me out and I don't like it.
Yeah, that seems
Because you want to know why? Because I know what it's like to be the instructor, stressed out that it's like, oh shit, this is the wrong song for this move. So I
And
know
people
what's going
don't
through.
know that. Like
The,
as
the
a
people in your class do not know.
as a patron of bar, I don't know that. I just like good vibes. You could play Lionel Richie all night long, literally.
Actually, the beat's kind of okay for that.
And I would be like, great, put it on repeat.
I know. I had Caribbean Queen in my playlist this morning.
Caribbean Queen.
Right? I'm just standing loose and free.
Yeah.
And our hearts still beat as one.
No more love on the run. I love it.
that.
I love Billy Ocean.
All right. Cameras are
Peace
dying.
out.
We have to pee. And it's time to go to Mexico. Peace out, homies.